what do we learn about the half-tribe of Manasseh east of the Jordan from 1 Chronicles 5? This is the question we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of 1 Chronicles on Walking Through the Bible.
Today
we're going to be discussing 1 Chronicles chapter 5, verses 23 to 26. But before we do that, let's read the passage. If you have a Bible with you, turn to 1 Chronicles chapter 5, verse 23. But if you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, 1 Chronicles chapter 5, beginning at verse 23. So the children of the half-tribe of Manasseh dwelt in the land. Their numbers increased from Bashan to Baal-Hermon, that is, Sinir, or Mount Hermon. These were the heads of their fathers' houses: Epher, Ishai, Eliel, Azriel, Jeremiah, Hodaviah, and Jadiel. These were mighty men of valor, famous men and heads of their fathers' houses. And they were unfaithful to the God of their fathers, and played the harlot after the gods of the people of the land, whom God had destroyed before them. So the God of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Assyria, that is, Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria. He carried the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh into captivity. He took them to Hala, Habor, Hara, and the river Gozan to this day. In the last few chapters, we have been looking at the genealogies of the children of Israel. We began with Judah, the kingly tribe, and spent quite a while looking at them due to the fact that the Messiah would come from the lineage of King David of the tribe of Judah. Then we moved on to Simeon, a small tribe whose original borders were within the tribe of Judah. However, in fulfillment of Jacob's prophecy, they eventually became scattered throughout Israel, with some even going and settling at Mount Seir. Following this, we began examining the tribes east of the Jordan, namely Reuben and Gad. Reuben's boundaries in the south were the Arnon River, with them bordering Moab. To the north, they bordered Gad, whose own territory extended to just south and east of the Sea of Galilee. What we've seen in these genealogies thus far is that they are shortened in one way or another, with some containing the children of the patriarch of the tribe, while others not. As we have said before, we don't know why this is, but perhaps for brevity, the chronicler left these names out here, but it is likely that a more complete list of names were kept in uninspired scripture. The point for the chronicler in this chapter seems to be how Israel came into possession of the land east of the Jordan, and how come they lost it. And thus, bringing us down to the families alive during that time period would be what is needed. All of this leaves us with one more tribe east of the Jordan, the half-tribe of Manasseh. As the oldest of Joseph, he received a double portion of Joseph's inheritance, which meant, in this case, that he inherited two parcels of land. The land east of the Jordan bordered Gad to the south and went all the way up to Mount Hermon in the north, what scriptures refer to as the land of Bashan. Up on the screen are the original borders of Manasseh east of the Jordan, but as we read earlier, those borders were expanded gradually through war with the surrounding peoples with the aid of Gad and Reuben and with the help of God. Like it was with Gad, the descendants of Manasseh east of the Jordan are not enumerated from Manasseh himself, but from heads of the families closer to the captivity. So 1 Chronicles is the first place we come across these names. Coming to verse 25 now, and the chronicler highlights the reason why these tribes no longer inhabit the portion of the land. It was their unfaithfulness to God. You see, these tribes may have trusted in God to expand their land, but that's as far as their faith went. For they served idols too, described as playing the harlot here, showing us the marriage relationship between God and his covenant people in the Old Testament. And so what did God do? He sent Pul, king of Assyria, who the chronicler also identifies by his other name, Tiglath-Pileser, to carry these 2.5 tribes away into captivity. We read of this in our study of 2 Kings, where 2 Kings 15, verses 22 to 27 says, In the 52nd year of Azariah king of Judah, Pekah the son of Remaliah became king over Israel and Samaria and reigned 20 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not depart from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who had made Israel sin. In the days of Pekah, king of Israel, Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, came and took Ijon, Abel-Beth-maachah, Genoa, Kadesh, Hatzor, Gilead, and Galilee, all the land of Naphtali, and he carried them captive to Assyria. Up on the screen now is our timeline that we used in 2 Kings. When we studied that book, we noted the massive instability in Israel during her final years after the death of Jeroboam II. Jeroboam's son, Zechariah, only reigned for 6 months before he was assassinated by Shallum. Shallum only reigned for 1 month before he too was assassinated by Menahem. When Menahem came to the throne, we found that he likely didn't have full control over Israel, with Pekah being a rival king, likely in Gilead east of the Jordan, among these 2.5 tribes. Menahem was allied with Assyria, which is how he avoided Assyria's invasion earlier, but Pekah was allied with Syria. And thus, when Menahem died and Pekah took over full control of Israel by killing Menahem's son Pekahiah, this, along with Judah's entreaties for help, gave impetus to Tiglath-Pileser to come down and vastly shrink Israel, taking most of it off into captivity. Up on the screen now is what was left of Israel after Tiglath-Pileser's campaign. What we learned from 1 Chronicles that we could only assume from 2 Kings 15 is that Israel's decline here had everything to do with God punishing Israel for their idolatry. Sure, there were political differences between Assyria and Israel, and sure, Ahaz, king of Judah, asked Tiglath-Pileser for help to help him stave off attack from Israel and Syria. But these geopolitical issues is what God used to punish Israel for her sins. These 2.5 tribes specifically are said here to have been taken away into Assyria, where they reside to this day, meaning the day of the writing of 1 Chronicles. That doesn't mean that some didn't return to Israel at a later date, nor does it preclude some coming back with the wave of captives that returned to Judah under Zerubbabel. But it does mean that the vast majority of the 2.5 tribes east of the Jordan still remained in what that time would be in the empire of the Medes and the Persians. Having now completed the tribes that lived east of the Jordan, the chronicler returns to discuss the third son of Leah, the priestly tribe of Levi, something we'll begin to do, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of 1 Chronicles chapter 6, verses 1 to 30, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.